Remember the author of it. I did not write it, but I cannot remember. So without further, here's the story of the cremation of Sam McGee. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. Those Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. Now the northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the march of Lake Labarge, when I cremated Sam McGee. Now Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam, or on the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but that land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. Though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hell. 'Twas a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold through the pocket's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we closed, our lashes froze till sometimes you couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay back tight in our robes beneath the snow, the dogs were fed and the stars overhead were dancing heel and toe. He turns to me and caps says he, "I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request." Well, he seemed so low I couldn't say no, and then he says with a sort of moan, "It's this cursed cold that has got right hold till I'm chilled clean to the bone. Yet it ain't being dead, it's the awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that, foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains." Well, Pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. We started on in the streak of dawn, and God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched in the sleigh, and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. But before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of old Sam McGee. Well, there wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, "You may tax your brawn and brains, but you've promised true, and now it's up to you to cremate those last remains." Well, promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I cursed that load. In the long, long night, by the lone firelight, while the huskies, round in a ring, howled out their woes to the homeless snows, and God, how I loathed that thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed heavy and heavier grow. And on I went, the dogs were spent, the grub was getting low. The trail was bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. I'd often sing to the hateful thing, and it would hearken with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay. 'Twas jammed in the ice, but I saw in the trice it was called the Alice May. I looked at it, thought a bit, looked at my frozen chum. "Then here," says I, with a sudden cry, "is my crematorium." Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found was lying around, and I heaped the fuel still higher. The flames just soared, the furnace roared, such a blaze you'd seldom seen. Then I burrowed a hole in that glowing coal, and stuffed in Sam McGee. And I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. The heavens scowled, the huskies howled, the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And that greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. Oh, I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear. The stars came out, danced about, or ventured near. I was sick with dread, but bravely I said, "I'll just take a peep inside." I guess he's cooked, and this time I looked. And the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar. He wore a smile, you could see a mile, and he said, "Please, close that door. It's warm in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm." Oh, there are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. Those Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. Now the northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the march of Lake Labarge, when I cremated Sam McGee.